Hello friends, today we are going to paint these beautiful boats. This location I am quite conversant with. This is the Amalfi Coast, Italy west coast below Rome, some 400 kilometers. It's a beautiful location. I have been there, I have stayed there for some time. One of the beautiful locations in the world actually. Crisp, clear, blue waters. What makes this particular reference photo beautiful is the complementary colors. As you must have noticed, the boats are standing out against the waters of the sea. Boats are prominently orange in color, and orange and blue are complementary colors. That's the reason why these boats especially, you don't have to think twice as to what is the focal point in this photograph. It is absolutely and very clear that even a child will say that these boats are the topic of this photograph, this painting. So, first thing first, the sketching. I am going to spend about 15 minutes out of 40 minutes of the total painting time in sketching, because the sketching will ensure that the painting comes out very well. You have to paint quite a few boats, though I am going to delete 2-3 boats, but still I am going to paint something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boats. That's quite substantial. It's going to be interesting, but of course the first 2 boats will be having a bit of details. The rest of the boats may not have so much of details, but nevertheless they have beautiful contrasting colors. And the second important point are the reflections of the boats. So, boats and the reflections put together makes this photograph and the painting beautiful. What I am going to do further from my side is the mast or the flags or whatever that boats are having. Actually, I have not sat in variety of boats, so I don't know what these boats are. Are they sailing boats, or maybe could be sailing boats, whatever. So these masts are actually dark brown in color. I am going to change them over again to complement the orange color and change them over to a blue colored masts. As you will see, they look much more interesting as compared to the brown colored mast. So the point I am making is, while planning the painting, you can always make the changes that will enhance the painting, make it more interesting. Obviously, a little bit of perspective takes place here. That is, the boat closest will be largest in size, and the rest of the boats will keep on reducing in size. Of course, provided there is no steamer standing behind. If the basic size of the boat itself is 100 times and standing behind, but still it will look bigger, right? I am assuming these boats are more or less similar, so obviously the sizes will keep on reducing as the distance between our eyes and those boats reduce. These multi-story houses probably have been constructed mainly for the business point of view to give that beautiful Mediterranean view. The sea, I remember, must be having hundreds of boats, if not thousands, and beautifully colored boats. We also had a stint of swimming there, and of course, gelato, Italian specialty. So, as you can see, I'm continuing to do the sketching, and I think let's have the commentary again when we start painting. So, look at the sketching, and if you are confident about the sketching, then you can fast forward this particular video up to the painting stage. Great. Okay, see you when we start the painting. Oh, hello. Okay, so here we are starting with the painting activity. The sky, I've chosen ultramarine blue color, and the adjoining mountain also will have ultramarine and violet. Beautiful mountain there. I think it's become too dark. I need to mellow it down. So with some water I can reduce the intensity. Again, do negative painting around the buildings so that buildings remain white color. Later on we'll decide whether to keep them white or give them a touch of yellowish or crimsonish colors. Certain fundamental rules. There is a horizon line there below the mountain. It has to be always horizontal. So keep an eye on the top edge or bottom edge. The line has to be, horizon line has to be parallel to that top or bottom edge. Again, the buildings, rooftops, crimson I'm painting, they will always be parallel to the top or bottom edge of that paper. Unless the building is tilted, in the sense I don't know when it will be. I don't think there is any situation unless you are in a boat and boat is tilted and you have taken a photograph. That's a very exceptional case. Again, this horizon line of the sea is absolutely parallel to the top edge. So these certain things you need to remember. Again, negative painting around various boats here and there lying in the sea. Now we are coming to this front two boats. This is the first wash, a light color crimson, ultramarine blue wash around these boats. I've taken a slightly smaller brush because I had to maneuver between these right side 4-5 boats. So this is on the left hand side, you can see the finished painting, purposely showing it to you parallelly so that you get a feel of how the painting is proceeding. Now this slight yellowish tinge to the waters, orangish yellowish, which is a reflection of the buildings on the mountain there. But ensure that there is no parting line there. This yellow color blends well with the ultramarine watercolor. So it has to be done wet on wet. You can't allow one color to dry and then paint yellow color. You will end up with a line. So this wash is over. The sea is, first wash is over. Now we are proceeding with the boat. Boat again has a dark side in front, but for the first wash we can have orange, vermilion, red, and possibly some yellow ochre as well. So as I have been saying, start with the lighter shade in that photograph. Here the lighter shade is orange. The boat has some design, a white line, and then there is at the bottom side one more line. So all these lines you can avoid painting. There are some floats there, I think, like we have tires many a times. This boat seems to be having some plastic floats. I don't know what it is exactly, but I have painted it around. So this, as you can see, I have added red color there to the orange color while the color is wet, and further to that, intensity of red is also increased towards the front side of the boat. The other side of the boat is also visible a little bit, so that's the reason why I have left it white. I could have painted it with the red because anyway the other side is dark, so painting dark over that red color was possible, but just to remind me, I have left it white. Now that this color is ready, I am going ahead with the second boat painting in the same way how I painted the first one. Orange, red. Ultimately I am going to add red brown also, which is a darker shade in front of the boat. Here you can see how the edge has come out crisp against the red color of the second boat. So these edges you need to paint them very carefully so that there is no smudging of colors. It comes out as a crisp, clear line. And now that this paint is ready, I am going ahead with whichever boats are this orange red. I am finishing them off. Sketching is very critical. If the sketching is good, then painting, half the battle is won. Painting becomes easier. Some of these buildings are seen yellowish, some of them are appearing to be light crimson. And even if they are not, I would have still given those colors, so that the rest of the 50% of the buildings, the white color would have emerged out. See, it is the dark color which actually propels the lighter shades. So if you want lighter shades, like for example in the final painting which I am showing on the left hand side, the first boat, the white color in front of the boat, there is a cabin I think, so that I have not painted at all. It's the original paper, but I have painted around that. That has prominently highlighting that white color. Now these are small details. One can always reduce some of the details, but there are not too many details, so I am actually painting practically everything there. Some containers with some stuff there. I think there is that red tire also, beautiful. While painting, if you are learning the painting right in the beginning, it could be a good habit not to touch the paper with your hand. Only the brush touches the paper. Actually, it becomes slightly difficult because without support of your hand or finger, the brush maneuverability reduces. But in many of cases, if it is a macro painting, not micro, macro painting, then you can practice that way. And only the small details you can actually touch your little finger and do the painting. That's a good painting habit. And of course, in large paintings, many times one needs to use long kind of a scale or something like that across the painting, and keep your hand on the scale. The scale is floating above the painting. I hope you got what I am saying. These acrylics I paint large size, like 3 feet by 3 feet or 3 feet by 4 feet. There sometimes I do require, but also that acrylics dry very quickly. That's why the need of the scale is not really required. Even if it dries, one can paint another color over it, whatever you want. Watercolor, however, that liberty is not there. If it is to be painted wet on wet, then we can't allow the paper to dry, and then your hand cannot rest on that wet color. So watercolor is actually, as per me, slightly more difficult, but its results are beautiful. They have their own charm. Now this red-brown color, you should have always in your box. It's very useful. Shows dark. Inside the cabin it's quite dark. I am repeating, don't use black color in watercolor. Never use black color, I will say, unless some person is wearing a black pant, kind of understandable. Otherwise, try and avoid. In fact, there also you have liberty to change the color of the pant. So try and avoid black color. it makes the painting opaque. In the detailing, typical most of these boats are actually made up of skeleton. So these are the, no, I left those white skeleton, wooden skeletons, and painted around, blue color paint around that. These are the ribs. So if whatever you paint, if you are sometime in your life, if you actually gone and seen that particular object, then it helps a lot, because then you don't have to imagine everything, because you know the construction, for example in this case, how the boat is constructed inside. But of course you can't know everything. Some railing. There is a place called Naples. Of course, there is a color also, Naples yellow. So, which is very close, that place is very close to Amalfi Coast. There we had a pizza, and they have put up a board there. The first pizza in whatever 14th century, 15th century was prepared in that particular restaurant in Naples. So it's quite a popular joint. Whether the story is correct or otherwise, it doesn't matter, but the pizza was good. If you are planning to visit Italy, obviously you will visit Venice. But my suggestion is you should also visit Amalfi Coast. Another way of avoiding smudging of paints because of your hand touching the wet paint is to liberally keep on using hair dryer to dry the wet surfaces. Because using hair dryer doesn't affect watercolor painting, and especially the countries, the location where I am sitting right now, Mumbai or Bombay, it is near the seashore. Because of that, and of course there is rainy season, the humidity is almost close to 100. So this watercolor doesn't easily dry. So I need to keep on using hair dryer, especially after the washes. After the wash of the sea, I use the hair dryer so that I can comfortably paint these boats. These are small windows. Don't have to worry too much about how they really look, because they are, one is far off, and second is we are not actually trying to show them in our painting. Our focal point is the boats. But some symmetry needs to be followed. They should not look haphazard. That's all. Otherwise, you don't spend too much time on that back rear side portion. If you will allow me to make a statement as to how much percentage of time I must have used. These buildings could be, mountain, building, sky and sea put together could be about 10-15%. That's all. Sketching, as I said, consumed almost 30-35% of the time, and rest of the 50% time I spent on the painting of these boats. Of course, you may have your own allocation, but more or less this is, I think, how it should be. Again, this lot of greenery there around the buildings. So not too much of details there, again, just indicative. Okay, I think I will take a break here and let us meet with the commentary when we start painting the shadows. My request is, in the comment section, do let me know if my style of presentation needs further improvement. And if you like these paintings, do subscribe to my channel. In this very painting, if you like, hit that like button. Share with your friends so that I get encouragement to do more and more of these paintings. I'm putting the painting every Friday, but if I feel that it is useful, then I may start twice a week as well. So do subscribe. Thank you. Right, so we are on to shadows now. If you see the photograph of the original, photograph, not my painting, you will see the shadows has 2 or 3 layers. There's some light blue color which is also evident. Then there are some violetish colors, and of course a dark color which is a mix of orange red boat and ultramarine sky. You must have noticed that interesting part of the shadow, and which, if you have not noticed, listen to what I am saying. The shadows, why they are formed? Because of the reflection of a particular object inside the water. Not really shadows, but reflections, sorry. So this reflection become more interesting because of the waves. In a plain water, you may find that reflection is almost identical to that of object. In this case, if the water is absolutely stationary, then it will not form those interesting shapes in the waves. So mostly these shapes are again horizontal and parallel to this horizontal edge of the paper. With that, I think we have done. Isn't it beautiful? So please do subscribe, like if you really liked my painting. Thanks for watching.